Okay, hello, one more time. See if anyone's out there. I know it's a couple of minutes early. Let's see. Today's topic is standard deviation, but before that, we'll look at the percentile stuff from last lesson. So I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait here for a few minutes, see who shows up. We've got somebody showing up. As always, put your name in the chat box, and when we've got enough people, we'll get started. So you put your name in the chat box. I'll be massively grateful. Apologies for the delay. It's typical Microsoft garbage. They decided they wanted to reboot my computer and update everything that it seems it needs to do. I mean, Microsoft 10 is a garbage fire. Hey, it's good to see you. Dude. Good to see you. So what I need you to do, just hold fire, type in your name, or just type in something in there. So Harley, obviously, that's just clearly you, so you don't need to worry. What we're going to do is wait for more people to show up. So I did say 11, and we're a little bit early on 11. So there's that. Got 3 people at the moment. Just pop something in the chat box so I know who you are. Got Kausa, brilliant. Got Rashida. Waiting on a few other people. Got a message from chemistry, Rashida. Are you not going to your chemistry lessons? Make sure you do, all right? Just be aware of that because that's been put out to people. You're not going to chemistry. So make sure you attend those. Got 4 people and only 3 names, so make sure you've typed your name into the box. While you're waiting, can you check your emails for me and try to log into Dr. Frost for me? So while you're waiting for everyone to show up, go to your emails. There should be a Dr. Frost thing there. Can you try that for me? I'm just going to check my link on it. Just bear with me a moment. Log in. Thank you. We've now got, 6 people at the moment. So while you're waiting for all this to go to Dr. Frost. I'm going to have a look at how many people have actually tried logging into that. Manage classes. Set 5, I think that's us. So I can see that Fazana's tried using it. Rashida, Jasir, and Ziza have tried using it. So while we're waiting for everyone just to catch up with us, go to Dr. Frost. Good to see you, Dante. Go to Dr. Frost now and try and log in there because this week's homework will be set there. All right? And for a while, the homeworks will be set there because it's just so much easier than trying to mark pictures. Using what? Dr. Frost is a website. You should have if you check your emails, your college emails, you'll have a login that you can go to. The password is password. Hey, Mawson. So all of you guys, while we're just waiting for everyone to show up, in another tab, go to your email, check your email. There should be a Dr. Frost invitation email. Log into that. You don't have the email. Okay, I'll just tell you what your login and your password are. There you go, so your login will be your college email, and your password is password. All right. Student, yeah. So the student at canby.ac.uk. Okay. Hey, Fazana. So Fazana, you've already had a go at this with the Dr. Frost stuff, so you don't need to worry. But everyone else who hasn't done this already, I'm going to start the lesson in about 2 or 3 minutes. Take a minute out to check your Dr. Frost maths works because that's where the homework's going to be set. What are we doing with new standard deviation and variance? But before we do that, I want to kind of follow up on last lesson stuff about percentiles. All right. So what are we doing right now? You're going to go to your email, check your Dr. Frost if you haven't done that already. I think you're one of the people that has this, so don't panic. Harley done it brilliant. Let me see if I can see that. Harley, let's refresh that quickly. See if you have or not. It's at 5. Yes, Harley, it says you've done that. Rashida, you've done that already, so that's brilliant. I see Jazir's been in there, Ziza's been in there, and Fazana's been in there. So those people have successfully got through. If anyone's really struggling, I'm not going to deal with those problems now. Just drop me an email and I'll sort that out for you over the course of today or tomorrow. No, not yet. What's the password? Password. Literally the word password. What do we do once we're logged in? Right now, you don't need to do anything with it because I'm going to use that as your homework thing rather than a classwork thing. Classwork thing for this week and next week will be YouTube at least. And we'll see after that what we do. But it's just so much easier than trying to mark pictures. It's like everyone's sending me pictures and that's great. And I'm happy about that. But marking it is incredibly tedious and difficult because obviously you've got to try and, I haven't got a printer. All right. So I'm thinking Dr. Frost here is a better answer for setting homework at least. The other thing you're going to need for today is the Year 1 applied book. So we need that as well. Okay. And what we're going to do, we're going to start in about 2 or 3 minutes. And I'm going to start by doing the question that I set for you, which was the, oh, well done, brilliant, well done. Which was question 5, the one with all the percentiles, if I remember correctly. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so question 5 is the one, yeah, so that's the one I'm going to do. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about things like interquartile range, which I don't think will take long. So yeah, if you have logged on to Dr. Frost, the next thing to do is to get your applied book and turn to page 27. And I appreciate most of you guys have done this already, haven't you? Or you've at least attempted this. And it's page 27, applied first year. All right, so it's applied 1. All right. And I'm going to start teaching in about, say, a minute, couple of minutes. Just want everyone to try and log into Dr. Frost. I'm just going to see who's managed to achieve that as of now. As of now, we have got Harley's done it, Rahat's done it, Fazana's done it, Rashida's done it, Jazir's done it, Zeron's done it, Mawsom's done it, and Ziza's done it, and Jazir's done it. So there's still the vast majority of people haven't done it. So maybe I'll give more than a couple of minutes. What email do you use? Your college email, including the student bit, so at student.candy.ac.uk, and your password is password. All right. I might give it more than a minute or 2 then, because the majority of people still haven't done it yet. What I'll do while you're doing that is I'll start doing some of the working out steps for 5. I'm not going to read them out to you. I'll take you through it just to save a bit of time. So the rest of you guys that are waiting for everyone else to catch up with you, you can just watch the screen. There'll be something on the screen to watch. So question 5A just asking mean. I mean, is anyone mean from a table? I'm not fussed to do that. It's midpoint, FX, all that fun stuff. 65% off is much more interesting. Have I got my calculator? I may need to go off extra. Bear with me. Where did I put it? Where's my calculator? I will definitely need a calculator for this. So back in just a second. Oh, it's over there. So you got in now, brilliant. That's awesome. I'm just going to check again. I'll read out the list of names, people that managed to get in. Whoops, that's taking forever. Okay, so that. Okay, that's fine. Set 5. As of right this minute, we've got Rahat, Fazana, Abrar. Demetrius, you haven't. Harley, Rashida, Jazir, Zeran, Mawsom, Omo, and Ziza have all managed to log in, and everyone else hasn't. All right? So I want you guys to have all logged in at least once. Can't do it just now, fair enough. I'll accept you from that. But then everyone else should be able to do it. I've now got an email from Dr. Frost not working for you. Start making an account. Okay, so let's have a look. It might be I need to make you an account. I can see your name though. So let's have a look at your account. Edit. Right, so your account. What's your, can you type in your ID number onto the live chat for me? So your SO number. So if you can do that, I can create another account for you. So if you type in your ID number, so I want it tied to your college account. So if you email me can you type in the live chat your ID number, SO, whatever the hell? And I can start making an account for you. In fact, wait, I think I've got it here. Well, I'm not going to read it out loud. Yeah, I found it, don't worry. SO and not read any of the rest of the video. That should now work for you. Your password is password. Okay, so that should now work for you, Kausa. Anyone else got any particular problems? Got it. Okay, I'm going to start teaching now. What I'll do is other than Dante, who's told me he can't get in for whatever reason, you try that by the end of the day. I'll use that as one of the register things as well. So anyone who didn't sign in, obviously didn't show up today. So let's have a look at number 5. A quick look at 5. 5A, I'm not going to do unless anybody wants it. So pop a message up in the box if you want to see 5A done, all right? Because 5A is just mean from a table, all right? And if you can't do that's fine, but I assume that you can, as it stands. 5B, calculate 65th percentile. So first of all, what you need to do is work out the sum of people total. So we've got 16 plus 8, 34, 47, 49, it looks like. Let me just check that. So 49 people total. 10 add 6 is 16, 16 add 18 is 34, 34, 44, 47, 49. 49 people total, all right? We want to work out the 65th percentile of that, so we're going to times that by 65 over 100, and that's our baseline, all right? So 49 times 65 over 100, we know what we're targeting. 49 times 65 divided by 100, which gives us a grand total of 31.85. Okay, everyone so far so good. So I'm doing question 5, part B, because there's no point of doing 5B, 5A, because it's just mean from a table, unless people want to see mean from a table, in which case type it in the box. All right, so 31.85. So now I'm going to put the table. I'm going to make a table for you. What page is it? It's page 27. You were doing it last lesson, so it's literally just like a little check for you, in that you were meant to have done this. But if you didn't understand how, this is sort of like a recap for you. So all I'm doing is the table at this point. I know I'm targeting 31.85. I'm going to pop that there just so I don't forget it. So we've got 31.85, 20 to 30, 30 to 40. I don't need to bother about any kind of continuity correction here. 40 to 50. And then the last one, you can't see that. So I'll change this the screen down in a moment. Oh my god, I just realised this is really difficult because you won't be able to see most of that. I'll rub that out and put that in properly. I'll put it here and I'll just try and do it as small as I can. So 20 to 30, because there's no gaps. That's why there's no continuity correction. Do you see? There is literally no space that you could slip anything in between. Same answer I give to Caltha. Where is there a gap? The reason why you have a continuity correction is there's a place where numbers can fall through and not come out. But here, every single number is accounted for. And the last one is what, 60, 70. I'll make it as small as I possibly can. 60. So not that we're going to need it, but yeah, it's there. Okay, so that's our table. All right. Obviously, you have to start with the frequency, and that's not anything surprising to you. It's sorry, 6, 10, isn't it? Go 6, 10. Next one's what? 18, 13, 2. 18, 13, 2. All right, so I hope that makes sense to you so far. Yeah. Now, use the continuity. The thing is, you'd only use a continuity correction, as I said, because there is a gap in the middle and the numbers are discrete. Here you've got 20 to 30, not including 30. Here you've got 30 to 40, not including 40. There's no gap. There's nothing here that you can fall through the middle of it. Okay, so don't stress too much. I mean, it's good that this is one of the reasons I've done this question. The next thing I asked you to do was do the cumulative frequency. So here we've got 10, 16, 34, 47, 49. All right? And we want 31.85, so we know we're going to be in this group because that's the first one with a cumulative frequency bigger than or equal to what we're looking for, which is this guy here. 34 is bigger than 31.85. All right, so 34 is the one we're going to do, and the rest of the table can vanish. All right, I'm going to do just that. I don't need any more of the table. I'm going to keep the second one because it has one little use. Not a big use, but it's got a use. All right, cool. So what happens now? We start with the lower bound of our thing. So we start at 40. Okay? So I'll put 40 here. Because 40, sorry, you can't see that well. Put 40 here. Yeah? because 40 is the beginning of the group that we got, yeah? We need from 16 to 31.85, which you can't see all that well, so I'll bring it back down here. 31.85. Remember, that's the calculation we worked out. That was 65% of 49. It's 31.85. We need another 15.85. Okay, really, really quickly. It's not going to take you long at all. To find out 31.85, knowing that that's the number we're looking for, all you had to do was go, okay, they all add up to 49, so there's 49 things total. What's the 65th percentile of that? You do times by 65 over 100. In the same way, when you do a quartile, it'll be times by 1 divided by 4 because you want a quarter. I hope that makes sense. Yeah, I hope that makes sense. So the sum I did here was literally 49, because that's the sum, that's all of them added together, times by 65 over 100. All right, and I'll try and move the camera down so you can see that. Maybe I can put it up here and actually it's better. So that's, what was it, 49 times 65 over 100. So that's the sum I did to get that. All right. And that's, so if I ask for like the 12th percentile, it'll be 12 over 100. All right. Going back to the formula we know, you start with your lower bound, then it's need over what you've got, and I've got 18 in this, times by the class width, and from 40 to 50, that's just 10. All you've got to do is that calculation, and the jobs are good then. Yeah, and the job's done. So hopefully that makes sense to people, that they don't find that too kind of stressful or difficult. If anyone's got any particular problems with that, it's still got 15.85. Yeah, because that's, I think that might end up just being because of like the way the sum works. But just remember here, you don't need a continuity correction. You'd have dropped a mark for doing it. All right. I wonder, without seeing what sum you did, I don't know how you managed to get the answer the same. But nevertheless, we're not going to panic about that. You see the method that you need in front of you, follow that method. It does matter that you did it. You think you're here, but be aware that you would have dropped a mark here because you're doing a continuity correction on something that's already continuous. The whole idea about continuity correction is you do things that aren't continuous. So hopefully that makes a bit of sense. What else have we got to think about? Okay, cool. So we've got 5C as well, just briefly. Calculating a suitable percentile. Only 10% of our customers have to wait longer than 10 minutes. So obviously here you do the 90th percentile. And I'm not going to redo the whole sum all over again. Okay. And then you see how many people are above the 90th percentile. All right. So hopefully that made sense. Question 5, at least in terms of 5B, and 5C is just another 5B, but just instead of 56 or whatever you get, what was it? 65, sorry, you do 90. Okay. So what I want to do now is just quickly talk about standard deviation. You've got 48.8, I'll check that for you. I just realized you said it's around 15.85. That wouldn't be changed by the continuity correction at all. The bit that will be changed will be this guy. So that's what would have killed you. So yeah, final answer of this should come out as 2C, 2C, 2C. And it's question, so what did you get? 5B. Yeah, 48.8, exactly that. So how did you get the 15.85 again? Well, I already got 16. That's why I don't rub out the part of the tables that's directly below. So I've already got 16 at this point. I need to get to 31.85. That's the number I've worked out the way I explained Rashida. And how much do I need to add to that? I need another 15.85 because 16 plus 15.85 makes 31.85 that I'm trying to get. So that's why I've got 15.85 there. And hopefully that makes sense to you. Is that all relatively reasonable now, Zara? Thanks for asking the questions, and please keep asking the questions. Nothing wrong with the questions. Yeah, so it worked, yeah. The thing you did was you looked at the 15.85 and said, I got lucky. Well, not really, because the mistake you made doesn't affect that number. The mistake you make affects that number. Why do we start from 16? Because the last one, the last cumulative frequency, by the time you've got to 40, you've already got 16, yeah? So you need this part of the table here to contribute another 15.85 more to get you to 31.85, all right? So just think, like, by the time I start here, I've got to 16. If I go all the way to the end, I've got 34, but 34 is not what I want. I want 31.85. So I just think, how much more do I need to get me to 31.85? My goal is to be here. All right. So I'm going to take 15.85, which is what I need. 15.85 out of 18 of the total. Can we do another question insert to consolidate? Yes, of course we can. Should we do number 6? All right, we'll do number 6. Okay, and I'm going to do 6A only. Okay, because 6B, state why it's not possible to estimate the 90th percentile because there isn't an upper bound on W, just to answer what 6B is quickly. So we'll do 6A first. All right, we'll do 6A. So if everyone turns the page, second, the table is so long. I'm just going to simplify it because I've run out of space on my table. But you know this is already done properly, and this is continuous again. So continuous fans like Zeron, this is continuous. You don't need to stress. All I'm doing is a shortened version of the table, so all the numbers fit on the screen. Yeah, 2.5 to 3, and then the next one just basically goes 3 plus. All right. Now you should be looking at the proper table, and when you copy out the table or when you do the question, you should write it out properly. Okay, this is just me desperation because I'm running out of space a little bit. Let me see if I can fix that so that shows you everything. There we go. I think that does show everything, right? Okay, cool. So first thing you do is you work, it says 80th percentile, so you just do 100, and I mean, this is not the hardest sum you'll ever do in your life. 100 times by 80 over 100 is amazingly 80, all right? So we know, it's not percent, we're looking for the 80th number, all right? We're looking for the 80th number, because you've got 100 things, and you're trying to find the 80th percentile, and the 100 just cancel nicely. So our target number here is 80, and I'm going to pop 80 there to remind you that, okay? Now, next thing I do is do the frequency, just copy the frequency. 4, and the reason why I'm copying them is obviously I haven't got a worksheet to do this on. 4, 20, 37, 28, and 11. And then obviously I do the cumulative frequency. Yeah, and the cumulative frequency by just going 4, 24, 37, 24, 61. And that will go, is that 89? And that goes 100. And that's a quick check for me that, yeah, they all add up to 100, so I haven't got my sums wrong. So obviously the two key ones are this one, because it's the first one bigger than 80 or equal to 80, and the one before it, so I can delete all the rest. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Quick reminder that we're doing question 6 on page 28. So if you didn't get that, if that was too quick for you, okay, then let me know, all right? And in fact, just go back in the video. This is actually a different question. Yeah, this is 6A from page 28, all right? So we look at this now, and we say, well, okay, our target group is this one, and it says 2.5. Well, this is what it properly says, not shortened. So I'm going to use this as my lower bound. Why? Because it is the lower bound. The simple reason. All right? I've already got 61, but I want to get to 80, so I'll need another 19. All right? I've already got 61 by the time I start on 2.5, but I need to get to 80, so I need another 19. All right? How many are in the group total? The total frequency in that group is 28. Yeah? So 19 over 28 multiplied by the class width. Again, because if you look at the table correctly, you've got a class width of 5. Yeah? From 2.5 to 3. All you need to do is work out that calculation for me, and I'll tell you if you get it right. Okay? Hopefully that made sense to you. So if you can just work that out for me, pop an equal sign, and tell me what it does. All right? So that's question 6A done. Yes, sorry, 0.5, of course it is. I'm just being stupid. There's 0.5, not 5. Yep, 2.8, 2.84. Let's have a look. We'll check it. Of course it is 0.5, 0.5, yeah. I put the decimal place as, yeah, just basically being stupid, to be honest with you. So yeah, question 6, 2.84. 2.84, yep. So hopefully that's starting to make a bit more sense now. And Rashida, that kind of touches that that thing about, you know, I need another example. Do you feel like, does anyone feel like they need a third example? Or can we just start standard deviation? Sorry, someone is... Why did we didn't? Let's be clear, we did not use continuity correction here. The only reason I wrote the tables like this is because I don't have enough space on my whiteboard, all right? If you look at the question, there isn't a continuity correction being done here, okay? And I haven't done one either. If I had, be sure I would have mentioned it to you. So no continuity correction happened here. All I've done is I've written this table in shortened form because it is 0.5, as what I've written. Mind you, a few people did correct me on that. So all I've said there is, like, obviously, I can't fit anything on the table. The camera is what it is. Let's start standard deviation. I quite agree, unless anyone's got a question. To be fair, I'll start standard deviation. If you still got a question, I can always come back to this, right? Right, let's get on with it. Standard deviation. That's fine, thank you. So, okay, the two examples I'm going to do with you are given in example 6. Apologies. Before, just quick thing. Can I rub this out? Just quick thing. I'm sure you're familiar with the idea of the interquartile range. So IQR is upper quartile minus lower quartile. Then you've also got the interpercentile range, and that's like if you want to find the gap between two percentiles. So if I say find the interpercentile range between the 10th and the 90th percent, you work out the 90th percentile, work out the 10th percentile, and subtract. Does anyone need any further instruction on that? Yeah? So an interquartile range is your upper quartile minus your lower quartile. An interpercentile range between two given percentiles, you just subtract them, just like you do for the upper quartile versus the lower quartile. So if I said the interpercentile range between the 90th and the 10th, what's the correct answer? 2.84, I think. Then you just work out what the 90th percentile is, so P90, minus the 10th percentile, P10. All right? I appear to have speak with sending pictures. Okay, we're reasonably happy with all this. Right. So standard deviation, let's move on. So the two examples I'm going to do with you today are example 7 and example 9. Okay, so example 7 is just one where you do it with numbers. Okay, and the formula for the standard deviation, probably the easiest one to use, is this guy here. Okay, so I'll start with example 7. Example 7 on page 30. Yeah. And the formula that's easiest to understand is this guy here, which is the square root of sigma x squared over n minus sigma x over n all squared. All right, so that's the more common formula that people use for standard deviation. If you unsquare root it, if it didn't have the square root on it, it'd be called the variance. Yeah, so the square root of the variance is defined as the standard deviation. Just quickly copy that for me, and I'll show you how to do it with example 7. All right, so that's the formula for standard deviation. There are many formulas for standard deviation. This is one we're going to use. If you remove the square root sign, you've got the variance. So the standard deviation squared is the variance. All right. So take a second to copy that out. Then we're going to do example 7 together. I'll give you about 30 seconds to copy that. Remember, also these formulas are all on page 30. Okay. And what I'm going to do after this lesson is send you, it might not be immediately after this, but at some point after this, I will send you a PowerPoint by which you can use these to, you can calculate these with your calculator. And I'll show you, I'll send you the link to the video that gives you all that information. But for now, I'm going to show you how to do it by hand, just in case. Okay, I'm going to presume everyone's copied that down by then. Yep, MSMSM, but we'll get to that. Okay, so the formula, if you recall, just from a moment ago, is the square root of x squared over n minus sigma x. Yeah, that is G is the mean, of course. Yeah, sigma x over n all squared. And Dante has just told you something quite useful. That's the mean. Okay, so that's just the mean square. All right. So here's how you do it. There should be a sigma there as well. My apologies. Yeah. So let's have a look at example 7 and see how this is done. Okay. So the first thing you do is work out what sigma x is. So here you've got given these numbers. I was going to write them out for you for convenience. 3, 4, 6, 2, 8, 8, 5. So it's 3, 4, 6, 2. And I'll rub those out. 8, 8, 5. So you've got 7 numbers. 3, 4, 6, 2, 8, 8, 5. All right? Hopefully that's making sense. So what have we got there? We've got a set of numbers, and those sigma x would just be the sum of those numbers. So if we add those guys up together, you get 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 2 plus 8 plus 8 plus 5. That's 36. Your n is your, how many numbers have you got? So you've got 7 numbers. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I hope that makes sense to people so far. Yes? Now, the only interesting thing in here that you might think, okay, this might be slightly hard, is the sigma x squared. But it's not hard at all, because all you need to do is square these numbers and then add them up. So 9 plus 16 plus 36 plus 4 plus 64 plus 64 plus 16. Okay, and if you add those up, you would get 218. So sigma x squared is 218. Plug those into the formula, square root, and standard deviation is done. Not particularly difficult, right? So all you need to be able to do is, if you know what your numbers are, that's easy enough. You square your numbers, yeah? If you need the sigma x squared thing, okay? And that's example 7 done. So can you pop a comment in the box if you do not like that? Okay, cool. I'm actually going to do 7 and 8 today. And because I'm running the mock for the year 13s directly after this, I'm going to leave 9 for tomorrow. So that'll be sort of your cliffhanger for turning up on time tomorrow. I see you guys what? Yeah, brilliant. That's cool. Cool. I just realized what I've done. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Cool. Everyone happy so far? Good. Good, 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 good. Do I see you first thing tomorrow morning? No, I see you at 10:30. I think I've got my days mixed up because this was supposed to happen. Is the last one 25? Yes, sorry, I forgot that one. 25, yeah. I've squared the 4 by accident. Yeah, 25. So 9 plus 16 plus 36 plus 4. Yeah, of course it is. No Monday. Okay, cool. So what time? I see you on Thursday, right? Is today Thursday? Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, so next time I see you is Monday. Okay, cool. I'm now getting my head together. I now know what day I'm living in. So when next time I see you, which will be Monday, I'll show you how to do example 9. And now I'll show you how to do example 8. Yeah? So hopefully example 7's gone okay. Yeah, example 7's gone all right? I think so. Now you've managed to correct the fact that I'm squaring the wrong number. All right, cool. Let me rub this out now and show you how example 8 works, which is slightly different. We've got Shamsa. I only ever met one Shamsa in my life, and she was an interesting character, to say the least. Does anyone also know any Shamsas? I think she was Yemeni. Anyways, we don't really care about Shamsa right now. She was a nice person. Didn't hate her or anything. Time, frequency. So we've got 35, 36, 37, 38. So basically, Shamsa is recording how much time people spend out of school during lunch. And this time we've got a table situation. Yeah? 3, 7, 29, and 34. Okay? How do we deal with that situation? Well, it isn't too bad, really. Okay? It isn't too bad. But we use a slightly different formula. Okay? And here it is. Let's do it. So this formula is the one you're using. Take a note of it because I'm going to rub it out in a minute. Sigma f x squared over sigma f minus sigma f x over sigma f all squared. Don't panic, it's not as hard as it looks, all right? So take a minute to copy that out. Take a minute to copy out Shamsa's question, and then we're going to do the question together, all right? You got 2.17 for the previous question. Sir, yes, sir. Well done, Hardy. Are the formulas given? I think the second one is, but the first one isn't. I will check for you. So what I need to do is copy out the table and copy out the formula, because the formula is what we're going to be substituting into. And the thing I'm going to teach you how to do is make all the pieces that are in here. All right. And then all you need to do again is plug it into a formula. All right. So this is the formula for tables. The previous formula was the formula just for numbers. If you just got numbers, that's the formula you'd use. I'm going to start going through this in about 25 to 30 seconds. I'm going to check, I'll check that. I'll check the formula booklet. In fact, I'm going to do the mock now, as soon as I've done this video with you. So when I do that, when I open up the files for that, I'll check it and I'll tell you on Monday. To be fair, when we do this in more detail next lesson, then we'll cover, then we can cover like ways you can memorize it. Because there is, as Kasa and I both said, a way of remembering how these work. And it's called MSM, and I'll show it to you in due time. Okay, cool. Let's do this. Everyone's copied the formula. So there's three things you need for this. You need sigma f, sigma fx, and sigma fx squared. All right? I'll put that one where you can see it's a sigma fx squared. So those are the three things you need to be able to fulfill your formula. Okay? Let's deal with them one by one. Sigma f. If you've got sigma f, that's really easy. You just add up these numbers. Sigma f just means add up frequencies. All right. So here we're going to go 3 plus 17 plus 29 plus 34. And I'm told that is 83. Okay. So 3 plus 17, 20, 49, 79, 83. Sigma f is 83. So that's how you find sigma f. Is everyone clear on sigma f? The next one you're told to find is sigma fx. Your time, basically the other column is the one that's counted. Sigma does mean add up, yep. Sigma just means add up, yeah? So if I didn't make that clear, I kind of assume that people know that, but there's no reason why you should. Sigma just means add them all up. So next one says sigma fx, and is a sigma fx used when you did mean from a table? It's this guy is your x, that guy is your f. Sorry, that's a rubbish x. And you multiply them together and then add them up. So it's going to be 35 times 3. Plus 36 times 17, and so on and so forth. And if you actually did that, you get 3082. All right? So sigma f and sigma fx are pretty easy to get hold of, right? I'm going to stop here for 30 seconds. Just anyone's got a problem with the ideas of sigma f and sigma fx, they can pop up in the comments. So I'm holding fire for about 20, 25 seconds now, just to hear you on that one. Okay, why sigma fx? Say sigma fx is really, really simple, sigma fx. It's you times whatever your frequency is by whatever the other thing is, and then just add them up. So you do 35 times 3, your first one, 36 times 17, your second one, 39 times, 37 times 29, your third one, and 38 times 34, which is your fourth one. And if you add them all up, that's why it's got dot, dot, dot here. Maybe so again, I'd run out of space on my board. Equals to 3082. All right. Is that again? Can you just pop in the messages if anyone else is still confused? I'll wait another 30 seconds because the last one I've got to do is sigma fx squared, which is possibly the hardest one, but it's not hard in itself. You did say, yeah, fair enough. It's the same mean from a table stuff that you did when you did secondary school stuff. All right. So that hasn't changed in any way. All right. Unless anyone else pops up, I'm going to move on to sigma fx squared. Sorry. So here's your x squared, all right? Your x squared is literally just get your time and square it. So it'll be 35 squared, 36 squared. You forgive me, I can't do yours. I had 37 squared and 38 squared. Yeah? And then fx squared would just be that number times what a frequency. So you go sigma fx squared. And again, I'm not going to do all of them. It's going to be 3 times 35 squared plus 17 times 36 squared, and so on and so forth for the other two as well. Okay? So now you know how to make all 3 pieces. Yeah? I mean, there is obviously an n in the formula. There's no n in the formula. My apologies, I take that back. The n's place is replaced by sigma f. So yeah, you've now got all the pieces you need. Just so you know what the answer to this is, if you add up all 4, the answer to this is 114,504. And that's worth saying. The numbers going to get big. Obviously, you're squaring something and multiplying it, and then you're adding them up. You're doing loads of things that make numbers big. So if it is 114,504, so be it. That's not a problem. Okay? You put them into your formula, square root, get the answer. Okay, I hope that's not too kind of time consuming for you or too difficult for you. What I want you to do for the rest of this lesson, which isn't really very long, is there's certain questions you can now do. You can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can do up to 6. Okay, I don't think you're going to get up to 6 because there's not much time left. Questions 1 to 6 on page 32. I can hang around here for about another 5 minutes because then I've got to get the mock sorted out for my year 13s. All right, they're still doing stuff. So I'm going to hang around here for another 5 minutes. All right. If you've got any questions, pop them in the live chat. If you are done with me, as in you don't need to see anything more from me, by all means go away and do your work. Homework will be set on Dr. Frost Maths today at some point. Okay, so be ready to check your Dr. Frost Maths, get that all sorted. And all homeworks will now be set on Dr. Frost Maths. And classworks, you show it to me by sending me pictures in the register thingy, yeah? Which I will do, obviously, once we're done here. So I'm here for about another 4 minutes. Has anyone else got any further questions on this? My Dr. Frost is still bugging. I'll catch you up about that later. What you should, can you log in with your FE colleges? Yeah, by all means, God, have a lovely day. Have you tried logging in with, not for FE colleges, student.candy.ac.uk, and your password is password? Yeah, you've got onto it. Brilliant. Well done, Dante. If it seriously doesn't work after that, I'll have a chat with you on Microsoft Teams. Rashida, no problem. Remember to go to chemistry. Zeran, take care. Someone asked me for an answer on this, 0.86, 0.861. I mean, I'm not sure. Let me just check for you. No, that's perfect. Well done. Dante, you've got, I'm sorry, not Dante. Harley, you've got the hang of this. Clearly. And that's good. Kelso, I'll check up. Next time I go on Dr. Frost, when I set homework, I'll check if there's anything weird about it. And we can have a chat on Microsoft Teams. I brought any time, my dude, any time. That's the least I can do, given the situation. We will get better at this. Good to see you, Jacob, actually turn up in the chat. I mean, I know you've always turned up, but, you know, make sure that you are turning up in registers and things. You're quite a quiet fellow. I know that. So questions 1 to 6, page 32. Send me the pictures by the end of the day. That would be lovely. Fazana, no problem. Ziza, you also take care. Look after yourself, my dude. I'm hanging around here for another 3 minutes for any other questions. Your homework's set on Dr. Frost Maths, so make sure you look that up. It'll be due for next Thursday. And thank you. All the ones that pointed out like little silly mistakes. That was really appreciated. I appreciate that. Right. I'll just sit here quietly and wait for stuff to go down. So you've got 2 more minutes to ask questions with. Take care, Harley. Look after yourself. You don't need to ask any questions. Don't feel obliged to hang around. That's not the point of this. It's just to give you a place where you can ask questions. What do I do? Can you just log in with your college email and password? All right, just make my life easy. Because otherwise I have to try and find out who you are and add you to the class. I'll do it if I have to, but try not to make my life harder than it is. Omo, have a good one. You take care. But if it seriously doesn't work, Demetrios, I'm sure I can add you to the class without breaking. Are you meant to do 1 to 6? Yeah, 1 to 6. How do you find the mean in 1A? I mean, that was a question I asked you at the beginning of the lesson. Do you know how to do mean from a table? Let me just quickly check what the question's asking. Oh, it'll just be sigma x over n. Okay? So, quick formula. Dante said this in the lesson, actually. It's literally just, so mean is sigma x over n. All right? And that's your mean. All right? And it was Dante that said that. To be fair, I didn't ask that, but Dante told us it. Yeah, midpoint times frequency, that's fine. Yeah, and I get why you'd have a problem with that. Yeah, it's just sigma x. Because it isn't a table this time. Yeah. Okay, I really do have to go now. So any further questions can be sent via Microsoft Teams because I'm going to just set up my mocks. No, anytime, boss. And I'll see you on Monday. You guys take care. It's a crazy world out there. Look after yourselves, all right? Bye.